Good afternoon, everyone. Today is a very special day. Today, 18 years ago, I became a mom for the first time. My son, Joshua Terrence, was born. He's 18. Where did time go? But since we're on the subject of him, let's talk a little bit about siblings and grief. And I'm going to tell you how my son handles it. First off, foremost, some people do not know this, but my son is autistic. He's high functioning. We found out when he was like 5 or 6. He's had a lot of therapy. So most people, they don't even know. He will tell you that he has it. He's not afraid. It was very cute when my daughter was in like the 3rd grade. She came home and said, Mom, I got to help this new kid in school today, and he has autism. And I said, well, you should be a pro at that. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, your brother's autistic. And she goes, he is? I said, yeah, but he's had a lot of therapy, and you were right there with him doing the therapy. And obviously she was way younger, so she didn't remember a lot of it, but she remembered some of it. So it was just a cute moment in life. One of the memories I have of her and him being like, I'm autistic. Yes, you are, and I didn't want to treat you any differently than anyone else, and I didn't want people picking on you. So he knows, and he knows what his limits are, and he knows what his likes and dislikes, and he's able to communicate with us, and he's a very huggy kid, and I'm very, very blessed. But one thing, having a sibling that's a year younger than you, because his sister was 1 year and 3 weeks younger than him. I wanted to have my kids close so they would be best friends, and boy, were they. They were the best of friends in the whole wide world. So when we came home from the hospital after Eve had passed, we have this app on our phone called Life 360. We used it a lot because my kids would travel back and forth from my parents' house, and we wanted to give them some independence, but also where we could have eyes on, because let's be honest, there's a lot of creepers out there. Well, I forgot to shut my daughter's phone off, and so it had said that she arrived at home, and I didn't even think about it, but he come running out the door looking for her, and I just burst into tears because I felt, God, so terribly bad. I literally, I don't know why I didn't think about it. I guess because I was in shock and grief as well. I mean, within 3 hours of my daughter's passing in St. Louis, we were home. That's how fast they wanted us out of the hospital, sadly. But it is what it is. I grabbed him up and held him, and he just poured tears. And he asked what happened. We explained to him. We didn't go into great detail, obviously, because he was only 13 at the time. And we explained everything to him. And, because he is also a very faith-driven person, he puts a lot of faith in God and Jesus. And he actually pastors to me and my husband and lots of other people all the time. He understood the magnitude of the situation, but he also understood that she was whole and safe again. But what I want to touch base is how it affects him on the daily basis. My son is very upset at the world. The world took his sister away. He has times where he just doesn't even want to talk. He just wants to sit there and think. He doesn't cry over her no more. He'll tell you there's no use in crying because she is safe. He just misses her. He misses her a lot. Every now and then I will catch him crying, but it's not like how I would cry. Sometimes I lose my breath crying. It'll be like a tear here and there, and then he'll wipe it and he'll move on with his day. But I would say of all things, he's angry. I think he's angry because he didn't get to say his goodbye. I think he's angry because the hospital wouldn't let him up there a lot. He got to go up there a few times, and then they wouldn't let anybody else up again. And the last time that he's seen her was in February. She passed on March 15th of 2022. So there's a lot of resentment towards the hospital. He has sometimes outbursts towards me and his father. He'll say, why couldn't you have taken her to another hospital? And again, that's living in the what ifs. You do that a lot when you grieve, and that's very normal process. And we sit there and we listen to him, and sometimes we just all cry together. Our biggest thing is just praying. We love to watch the sunsets because that was Evie's favorite thing, and sometimes we will say things like, look at the sunset she's painting today with Jesus, it's beautiful. Little things like that help. He's become very protective over me and his family. He does have some fears of death, like getting sick with the same thing that she had, because we were never able to determine if the HLH was primary or secondary, although I have my suspicions it was secondary, but we'll never know unless we get Joshua tested, and it's hard to do that. Insurance just doesn't want to cover that, and it's very expensive because it's genetic testing. But the main thing is, when you're dealing with a child who has lost a sibling, it's just as profound as a mother losing a child. That's their best friend. That was their comfort blanket. That's where they were up in the middle of the night when you were sleeping, and they were telling all their secrets and little whispers, and you wake up and they're like giggling in there, and it's the cutest thing ever. My kids were very goofy. They were fun together. They did a lot of things together. They collaborated together. If one got in trouble, the other one would try to take the punishment for them. It was the kind of relationship and siblings you want with your own siblings that you may or may not have. I miss that. I miss the giggling. I miss the smiles on their faces. I miss them. Joshua, let's go play outside. Oh my God, Joshy, Joshy poo poo head, let's go outside. To her just running up and hugging her brother and telling him, I love you, bro. You're my favorite person, and vice versa. They were definitely each other's comfort. They're best friends, the goofiest, funniest two to see together. And Joshua still has his humor. It's just different. Again, he's broken. He'll never admit it. He is, and he'll always will be. He's secluded himself. He doesn't have a lot of friends that he wants to talk to about it because they don't understand. And what 18-year-old wants to go to friends and be like, hey, I need to talk to you about my sister, and I'm struggling today and I need a vent. No, he does that with me and his father, usually around 3 o'clock in the morning, almost every night. It's usually when we all do our praying as well. 3 o'clock seems to be the best time to be praying, seeing, what hour it is. He relies heavily on his animals sometimes when he is grieving. He's got a cat named Rogue and a cat named Opal. We also have Evie's cat, Kylo Ren, and my cat, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then we have Tatooine, Tusken Raider. And sometimes he just picks up a random cat and holds him, but most of the time it's his cats. We also have a dog named Ezra Hart. She is a Belgian Malinois. He helped train her. She's a very huge part of his life. She's usually up in the couch next to him with her head in his lap. You don't realize the comforts you find when you're grieving, and one of those for my son is his animals. He's also a huge gamer like the rest of us are. He'll game. We try to stay away from certain things that trigger the anger in him, because he is angry, and that's one thing that's probably going to follow him until the day that he sees his sister again, and that's okay. We just try to veer away from the anger, and we try to talk it through. That's the best thing to do. Do not shut up a person or stop them from talking about their grief. If they're venting to you, they trust you. They honor you. You're a safe place for them. Let them grieve. Let them talk about it. It's healthy. And you don't have to say anything in return. Just grab them up sometimes and hug them and tell them you love them. That's the best thing to do. I'm sorry, I cannot relate, but I'm here for you, and I want to be here for you, and I want to stay here for you. And I'm going to end on this. I've had a lot of messages, and I thank you so much for reaching out and giving me phone numbers and telling me that you guys are there for Ben. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me and my family. We are eternally grateful. And God bless you. Lastly, if you happen to see my son Joshua today or in the coming weeks, be sure to wish him a happy 18th birthday. He's very stressed about it, becoming an adult, because he struggles with the world. And I keep assuring him he has nothing to worry about. People are going to embrace him and love him because he is a very lovable child, and he's just very likable. So be sure to wish him happy birthday. And son, I'm so very proud of you and the man you've become, and I can't wait to see what God has in store for you. I love you so much, and your sister loves you so much. I know she's shining down on you today, and I know in heaven they're celebrating you. So happy birthday, sweetheart, and many blessings and many more to come. Peace and God bless everybody.